Can Khalil Rountree shock the world and end Alex Pereira's reign of terror at the top of the light heavyweight division? It's UFC 307 and it's up next on Fighting with Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fighting with Friends, the undisputed African fighting podcast champion of the world. UFC 307 takes place at Salt Lake City, Utah at 4 a.m. South African time. I have with me today, ladies and gentlemen, as always, the reigning, defending, of course, undisputed vegan champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, that is, of course, Brother Gaia. What's happening, Brother Gaia?
Bro. I love that song, bro. I'm good. Like, how's it, man?
Bro, I'm
Good to
very
see you
happy to be
again.
back. Did have some time
Yeah.
out in the field, but I'm very happy to be back now to bring everyone UFC 307. And of course, Brother Gaia, we are going to start at the top of the card where we see, I mean, what can we say about this man, Alex Pereira, Powhatan, the champion, taking on Khalil Rountree Jr. All right, let's get down to business. So Powhatan is, of course, 11-2, 9 by KO. He's, of course, undefeated in the light heavyweight division. Last time out, beating Jerry Prohaska by second round KO with a devastating head kick. Khalil Rountree Jr. is the number 8 ranked in this division. He's 14-5, 10 by KO on a 5-fight streak. Last time out, beating our boy Anthony Lionheart Smith by third round KO. Lionheart, of course, taking that fight on short notice. So, unsurprisingly, here, Brother Gaia, Powhatan is coming into this fight as the 1.21 favorite, and Rountree Jr. is the 4.6 underdog. So, Brother Gaia, what you got for us here, bro?
You shouldn't have told me that, bro. That's like, was coming into this fight. I haven't been saying it to anyone, but I've secretly been keeping it to myself. I've tipping it towards Khalil Rountree. Because he's a little bit of a dangerous fighter, but getting those odds is like, it feels like it's a setup. It's like, it's like they're making us to put all our money down and just lose miserably, obviously. But more in this fight, why I'm saying Khalil Rountree, and I like your reaction there. Interesting about this fight is both guys are finishers. They both guys like to go and get knockouts. And Khalil Rountree is an absolute killer. I've watched him in the Ultimate Fighter come up and seen his fighting style and watched him grow and utilize Muay Thai and bring that into his game. Because he's not necessarily a fighter. He didn't do any combat sports growing up. So to see him become this kind of fighter in terms of utilizing Muay Thai and kickboxing is absolutely amazing. And also being able to survive in the UFC, being predominantly a striker, is actually speaks volumes to the kind of guy's finishing prowess. But he's going up against probably the best finisher in the UFC right now, in Alex Pereira. And I can understand why he's the overwhelming favorite. I mean, everyone that has fought Alex Pereira so far in the UFC have lost to brutally being KO'd. The only person that has gone all the rounds with him was Polish Power. What's his name? Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went all the way with Alex Pereira, and Alex was able to actually get up and survive some of those wrestling exchanges, which is quite scary to actually notice. But I do think Khalil Rountree has got the power. I do think he's got a good style to sort of match Powhatan. What I do fear, though, is that if it goes into a slower pace, which does favor Alex Pereira, I can see a very long night, possibly a very dark night for Khalil Rountree. Khalil is a dog, dude. The guy loves to. If you look at how he finishes people, look how he beat the Koskis, look how he beat Jacoby, look how he beat Paul Craig. He knows how to knock people out, man, and he's not afraid to do it. He came out clearly and he said, "Listen, I'm going to go into this fight and I'm going to stand up with him. I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to go full on and stand up with him." But does Khalil have something that we don't know? Is he able to navigate that calf kick? Is he able to navigate that super left hook from Alex Pereira? You know what I mean? It's a very intriguing matchup. How I see it playing out, I see a kickboxing match from minute one. I don't see any guy clinching or even looking for any sort of takedown. And as long as it stays that way, Khalil has a chance, but he is going up against a 2-time glory kickboxing champion. And Alex Pereira, when it comes to kickboxing versus kickboxing, you don't really see him lose. You know what I mean? But it's a puncher's chance. I do think Khalil's quite creative and he's very explosive with that left body kick. He doesn't throw many calf kicks, but he's very explosive with his left body kick. And obviously counter hooks. Fantastic counter striker.
Mm.
Is that going to be enough? Is what I'm worried about. But I do think that Khalil has got the tools to do it. If he stays in the pocket and sort of um, don't overextend because that's where Pereira can get you is when you're overextending your strikes. And Alex Pereira is also a master at counter striking. That's why I say it's a very intriguing matchup because in other fights you can say Pereira's bigger is more powerful. The calf kick is dangerous. When he fought Judy, we always felt that Pereira had the more power. We had the more tools to win in terms of the striking department, and he did exactly that. Beat Easy in the same way. So it's like how do you when you knocked out Jamal Hill, we all thought was going to be a good fight for him as well, knocked him out quick, fast. It's like, how do you beat this guy? What is the game plan? You can't out wrestle him. Which started didn't work. You can't outstrike him. The only person to beat him was Easy, knocked him out, but that was apparently brought down to a very bad weight cut. This is now not in middleweight. This is light heavyweight. So, but it is in the division where he's most perfect. So everything is pointing in his direction to make him win. Obviously, you know that. But I just think Khalil just takes one hit, and I'm gonna go with my boy Khalil Rountree to get the job done. Counter striking.
Ooh,
He's a
brother
win by
guy,
counter striking.
about to make me act up here. But yeah, brother
Yeah,
guy, unfortunately, bro, I just can't agree with it, bro. Can't agree with
yeah.
that. I'd love to see it, and chances are I'm probably gonna place a bet on it. But but I just can't see it happening, bro. And yeah, a lot of what you said, I agree with, and that's part of the reason why I'm not going with Antia. Is just that
Yeah.
Pereira is the superior striker in terms. If it comes down to a kickboxing match, I think he wins it. But
Yeah.
also in Roundtree's last fight against Anthony Smith, bro, he got caught a lot, and he got caught a lot overextending. And like you
Yes.
said, if you
Yes.
overextend against Pereira, bro, it's gonna be a short night for everyone. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Absolutely.
I just don't see him having anything that. I mean, it always comes down to this, but I don't see him having anything that Pereira hasn't dealt with before. He's so
Mm,
seasoned, he's so
mm,
experienced, and he's so technically good, Brian. I think he's just going to be
yeah.
technically better on the night.
Mm,
And yeah,
yeah.
punches chance, but logic, the bookies, and myself are all going to go with Poetan to get it done
Poetan.
here on the night.
Yeah. That's that's the most likely outcome, to be quite honest. It is the most likely outcome. The thing that I'm
Definitely.
worried about for Khalil in this fight is that I hope he doesn't get overwhelmed by the size difference and the pressure that Pereira puts on people. It's I think it's a very overwhelming thing to deal with. A lot of guys have been frightened by it, and Khalil Rountree is not the biggest light heavyweight in terms of length. He's not necessarily the tallest guy in that division. He's very stacked. He's built. He's got a huge back, but he doesn't. It's not the biggest man in that division. And Pereira is a tank. We know this. He's big enough to go fight heavyweight. So I'm worried
Mm.
about that forward pressure.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, obviously, for me, I'm hoping that round three can shock the world. I do love an underdog story, and it is quite a big underdog story. So it
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
it would be great to see. But yeah, logic and my mind is going with Pereira, but my heart is with Rountree. And yeah, brother guy, I think let's leave it at that and keep it moving now to the women's bantamweight where
Let
we
us
see
know in the
champion.
comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments who you're riding with, Rountree or Pereira. But yeah, here we are going to the women's
Mhm.
bantamweight title, where we see Raquel Pennington coming up against Juliana Pena. The champion coming into this one as the 1.6 favorite. She's 16-9 on a 6-fight win streak. Last time out, beating Myra Silva by unanimous decision. The challenger Juliana Pena is a 2.35 underdog. She's 12-5, 6 wins by submission. And her last fight, of course, losing to Amanda Nunes, but previously also
Mhm.
beating Amanda Nunes. So, Brother Gaia, is it going to be and New Year, or what are your thoughts,
Excuse me.
bro?
Excuse me. Pardon me. Um, the build up to the fight. I was leaning towards Raquel Pennington the whole time. And just as fight week began, I don't know. I can't give you exactly the reason why my mind started to change, but the more thought I gave it, I was like, oh, you know what, Juliana Pena is actually starting to persuade my decision. I fucking don't like her. don't dig her vibe. I think she's very annoying to watch. Not fighting wise, just the whole person's annoying, but fighting wise, dude, she's undeniable. She's undeniable. Fantastic, like you mentioned, good record in the UFC so far. Only really losing to like the champions. To be being honest, she lost to Amanda Nunes and to Valentina Shevchenko. Everyone else, she pretty much smoked in her division, and she's like I said, she's undeniable. Wrestling is relentless. Boxing's not the sweetest to watch, but she's got this never say die kind of attitude and just stays in the pocket the whole time because I think she's quite
Mm,
durable and she's very hard to put away. And I think she relies on that quite often. She is going up against someone who I think is physically stronger, definitely has got the superior boxing. Not maybe that doesn't have the superior wrestling, but Raquel Pennington is competent in clinching positions. She knows how to survive that. I mean, she basically annihilated Misha Tate. Misha Tate is a much better wrestler than Raquel Pennington. Raquel, she's got the durability. She also is a bit difficult to put away. Uh, but I do think that the overwhelming, relentless wrestling from Juliana Pena is going to be something that's going to be the key weapon for her to get this fight done. If I keep it standing, uh, I don't think she wins. I think Raquel Pennington outboxes her for 5 rounds. I don't think either woman's going to finish each other unless there's a submission happening. Excuse me, someone gets tapped out. But I'm leaning towards Juliana. I think Juliana, for me, after beating Amanda Nunes the first time, I thought it was a fluke to be honest, because the second fight wasn't even something to talk
yeah,
about.
yeah.
I do think that the mold, the fighting style of Juliana Pena is posing to be probably the biggest threat in this division, bar Kayla Harrison. I do think
Of course.
Juliana Pena. I do think Juliana Pena gets the job done here, possibly over 5 round decision or submission in the fourth round. But Pennington is a dog. You really have to tap her out. You have to break her arm. You really have to like put her to sleep to beat her. So you're not knocking her out. I can tell you that now. No one's gonna knock her out. They're gonna have to break a bone to beat her.
Well said. Yeah, well said. I mean, she's the champion for a reason, bro. But
Yeah.
like yourself, I'm also riding with Pena for this one. Look, I know
You know
she's
what
not
it
the
is?
best. She's not the
Mm,
best striker in the world, but
mhm.
might be recency bias. But I'm always gonna have that image in my mind of her beating Amanda, even though like you said, it's a fluke, bro. But just that image is always gonna be burned into my mind. And like whenever
Yeah.
I see a fight, I'm always gonna have that in mind. And you said she's not the greatest striker, bro, but like, and again, it's just because of that fight. But like you
Mm,
said, she stayed in the pocket, bruh. And I did
it
think
does.
that against Amanda, when she won that fight, she worked the jab very well, bruh.
Yeah.
Timing was on point.
Yeah.
Amanda didn't know what to do, bruh. Like, and
Mm,
it was very strange to see because, like we say, she's not a great striker, but for some reason in that match, she found really great timing against
yeah.
Amanda. She used that jab to get it to the ground and then subbed her.
Mm,
And yeah, I think she's gonna do something similar in this fight, bruh. I think she's gonna
yeah.
stay in the pocket, like you said. She's gonna be
Mm.
too tough for Raquel. Stay in the pocket, use the jab, get it to the ground, and cyber.
Yeah, you
Um,
know what it is, AD? Because why I say I don't think she's the greatest striker. It's almost like the way a lot of the UFC fighters and pundits are looking at Dricus. Although I think Dricus is a phenomenal striker, Juliana Pena doesn't look necessarily the most cleanest man, and she always has a
mm,
chin down, and she just like she does this weird thing when she walks forward, when she strikes. It doesn't look the prettiest, but what makes it work is the relentlessness behind it. It's the fact that it
mm,
packs a punch firstly, and the fact that she's able to stay there and do it so often, and she doesn't go backwards, man. She stays there. That fight with Amanda Nunes, the jab was working because Nunes was trying to jab on time with her, but it didn't land the same way, and it didn't push Juliana back. The second fight was completely different, obviously, but
yeah,
the fact
but it's
that
Amanda,
Juliana's
bro. So
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. You know, but the fact that Juliana's Abe has this ability, because I watched her in the Ultimate Fighter as well. She's like a freaking rabbit Wolverine, man. She just goes and she just stays on you the whole time, and it doesn't give you a chance to backstep or to set yourself up or to. It's a difficult thing to deal with, man. It's a wave after wave kind of fighter, and that's the kind of thing that beats Raquel Pennington. That's the kind of styles that beat her, and that's why I'm tipping it
mm.
towards Juliana.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely agree with you there, bro. So we can lock that one in for the parlay. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you have a different opinion. But as far as we can see it here, it's Juliana Pena for the win.
Mhm.
All right, brother guy, let's keep it moving then. And this time we are going to the men's bantamweight division, where we
Ooh,
see the
good
king
fight.
of Rio. Jose Aldo. He's taking
Brasil!
on Mario Bautista. And Jose Aldo, of course, coming into this one 32-8, bro.
I was shocked.
As this, yeah, 17 by KO. Last time beating Jonathan Martinez by unanimous decision. Coming up against Mario Bautista, 11th ranked, who is 14-2, 6 wins by sub. Last time out beating Ricky Simon by unanimous decision. So Jose Aldo in this fight is the 2.15 underdog, and Mario Bautista is the 1.72 favorite.
No
So, brother
way.
Guy, you're clearly not riding with the bookies here.
Oh, that's shocking. Yeah, I
Look,
mean, yeah, say.
go ahead. No, you go.
Yeah, I think probably they're doing it because Jose Aldo's old, you know what I mean, and older. He's the older fight. He's the vet, and we kind of seen what he was at, what he's been like in the UFC after last losing the title and trying to make his way back. He went up to featherweight, came back down to bantamweight. It was, he was trying to find his feet again, and now landing in the number 10 spot in the bantamweight. I think they're probably tipping it towards Mario because of his 6-fight win streak currently, and he did. Let's be honest, he did look good against Ricky Simon. In fact, his last 6 fights, he looked different. I wasn't really in his corner when I watched him debut in the UFC, but he turned me around in his last 6 fights. And I was like, Mario, he looks different. He looks like he's conditioned really well. He can go 3 rounds without getting tired. Pushes the pace really well. Just like I said, his condition has changed dramatically because now he looks like he can really survive and also put on a high level pace on fighters. Like I said, his striking is really phenomenal. But he is going up against the King of Rio, and in this day and age, I will still stand by it. Shout out to Jed because he called it many, many years ago. When it comes down to a 5-minute fight, 15-minute fight, 3 rounds only, Jose Aldo is the king. Like, even though he's lost, but you'll notice when he has lost to guys, it's when he's in the 5-round fight and he can't go past that 3rd round. And then you notice Max Holloway did it, Volkanovski did it, Marab did it. All these guys, they put Jose Aldo out when it goes past the 3rd round. But when inside that 15 minutes, he's probably one of the most difficult guys to deal with because he knows how to navigate 15 minutes. I mean, he's got experience, 32 wins, 8 losses. Like you said, it's a hell of a lot of fights, dude. And to be able to experience all those fights, he's seen it all. He's very difficult to take down. I think he's got a 92% takedown defense in the UFC. So that's like you very rarely see him on his back. I think Marab did it quite often. And also his strikes is obviously second to none. We know the liver shot that he throws from the left body shot he likes to throw. The one thing I want to see Jose Aldo use more, which he hasn't used in years now, is bring back those deadly leg kicks like he used to throw, taking people off their feet. Because I think he's going to need that against someone like Mario Bautista, who fights off the front foot very often. His front leg is his secret weapon for Mario Bautista's techniques. So I think Mario's probably going to try to take Jose Aldo into deep waters and just use overwhelming strikes, keep Jose Aldo on the back foot, try to survive and not necessarily get caught in those wild left hook exchanges from Jose Aldo. But I think Jose Aldo's going to start fast, 1st round, probably 2nd round as well. And then by that point, he's probably just going to survive the 3rd round and get the job done. And I think Jose Aldo's going to win the fight and end the winning streak of Mario Bautista.
There we go, brother Guy, riding with the King of Rio. So, brother Guy, just one question from my side here. Do you think Bautista gets any change out of Aldo in terms of the wrestling exchanges? Think you can take him down?
Maybe later in the round, later in the fight. I think Mario Bautista can get it done close to the end of the 2nd round, possibly then most likely round 3. I don't think he can get it done in the first. Jose Aldo is hard to take down. He's very, very hard to take down. Even when he was moving towards the end of his title reign, he was taking on people like Chad Mendes and Joseph Benavidez, who were elite wrestlers, and they were at a tough time to even clinch with him, let alone take him down.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Because I have seen Bautista's wrestling has been quite strong recently. He has been taking guys down, and like you said, well, like I said in the beginning, he does have, I think it was 6 wins by sub. Yeah, 6 by sub. So yeah, he's no monkey on the ground. I think his last fight, who was it? Ricky Simon.
Yeah, that was his last fight.
Or the fight before that when he won by sub. I was very impressed by his jiu-jitsu on the ground, bro. He's very slick, and he's quite strong for his size. So yeah,
that's my point, man. He just looks like this, like he went to the hyperbolic time chamber and trained for like 2 days, which is equivalent to 2 years. Comes back and the man is like, dude, he looks different. He really looks very different from what I've seen before. And I do think he can outcondition Jose Aldo. I think if he survives that first round, you don't really get caught into a slugfest. And like that's how he
Mm,
fights. He's very methodical. I think he can get it done. And like picks his takedowns. Don't try and rush it. Jose Aldo
mm,
is grandmaster. Be careful.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like yourself, I am also choosing Aldo to win this one. So how does he get it done for you? Is it going to be unanimous decision, or you see him getting a
Yeah.
finish here?
I don't think Jose Aldo is going to finish him. I think Jose Aldo is
Mm,
going to win the first two rounds quite significantly. Like you can maybe get a drop, maybe get a knockdown, yeah, possibly. But I do think he's going to use that experience and style of fighting to navigate that first 10 minutes, where he's going to clearly make it these two rounds, and then
mm,
possibly look to not necessarily take too much damage in that third. Don't get taken down in that third. Just pepper Mario. Don't give away too much. Because Jose Aldo
experience,
and
Baba.
experience, man. When I've seen him in the
Mm,
now, especially at this age, when he does try and look for that finish in round 2 and 3, then the Oaks take him down at the end of round 2 and they punish him in round 3. I've seen it.
mm.
So yeah, that shows Jose Aldo's game plan. He used to win by unanimous decision. Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point. Yeah. Like I said, I fully agree with that choice there. I'm also gonna ride with Jose Aldo, the king of Rio, to get it done by unanimous decision.
So you're
Okay,
locking it
brother
in, you
guy,
say?
we can definitely lock that one in for the parlay. But okay, let's keep it moving to the bantamweight, women's bantamweight division for a potential title eliminator here. And here we see, of course,
Jeez.
Kayla Harrison, the beast, coming up against Ketlin Vieira. Kayla Harrison, number 3 ranked, is the biggest favorite on the card at 1.1. She's 17-1, 7 wins by sub. I was surprised to learn 6 wins by KO. Last fight out, she beat a, let's be real, past the prime Holly Holm
Yeah.
by submission. That was, of course, at UFC 300. She's coming up against Ketlin Vieira, who is the 7.5 underdog. Sheesh.
No
She's
ways.
yeah, bruh. She's
Yeah.
14-3, 4 by sub. Last time out, beating Pani Kianzad by unanimous
Yeah.
decision. So yeah,
Okay.
is it as cut and dry as the bookies are making it out here, brother Gaia?
Yo, I feel like they're really messing with our heads here, these bookies, to be quite honest. It's like, oh, really messing with our decision making. Look, but these are the title eliminator. But firstly, Kayla Harrison is ranked number 3. That's like, it blew my mind when I
It's
saw it
ridiculous.
the
Yeah.
other day. I was like, oh, actually shocking. But she's going up against the number 2 women's bantamweight. Um, I think Caitlin Vieira has got the hands advantage. She's a more superior striker. She hits freaking hard. And she's got really good judo. You will see her throw a lot of judo hip throws when she's caught in clinches, especially in the middle of the octagon. She usually goes to a go-to is the hip toss. But that being said, she's going up against Olympic gold. Is Kayla Hansen a gold medalist or Olympic medalist? Let
I
me know
think
in the
she's a gold
comments.
medalist. Well,
She's a
yeah,
gold
let us
medalist.
know.
So
Well,
she's going up.
we'll find out.
I will say she's going up against the Olympian in judo, right? And
Mm,
I feel like Caitlin is gonna come up second best if she tries to utilize the judo hip throw when Kayla is definitely going to go and approach for that clinched position. That's a bread and butter. Kayla should not stand with this woman because Caitlin is going to knock her out if she does that. Caitlin's got phenomenal hands. She showed it in the Penny fight against Penny Kianzad was really well. And like I said, she's I think they're also very similar in height, if I'm not mistaken. I think the one might be a little bit taller or the same height, both 5'8". So that's phenomenal to see. But I do think Kayla Harrison is going to have to dig deep in this one. I don't think it's going to be as easy as it was against Holly Holm, which is able to go there and sort of just like, for lack of a better word, manhandle her, toss it to
mhm.
the ground and just use that power advantage. Because I do think Kayla Harrison is going to have the power advantage coming to this fight. But I don't know if she's going to have I know the record says 17-1, which really blows my mind, but I think Caitlin Vieira is going to have the octagon experience here and probably going to utilize the hands and that reach. Very good jab, very good boxing combinations to keep Kayla Harrison away. What I'm intrigued to watch is when they can. So I do think they're going to get caught up in clinching positions. I definitely think it's going to happen. Is how Caitlin's going to reverse that because if she doesn't reverse that, she's losing the fight.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, for me, bruv, I watched Kayla Harrison at UFC 300, bruh, and it was, like you said, manhandled was the word that comes to mind. But yeah, for me, I can't see her losing, bro. She's just too strong, too big. And yeah, she is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. So yeah, I see her putting her hands on Caitlin Vieira, taking her down, controlling her, and possibly submitting her.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
again, I just think Kayla Addison is the future champion of this division. So
What happens if she
yeah,
loses here, though? Well, you know what I mean?
if she
Because
loses here, she must retire, bro. That's the
Yo.
kind of stake she's fighting at here, bro. But nah, I don't see her losing this fight, bro. I mean, the bookies are like basically telling you don't bet on this fight, even. It's not even worth betting on Kayla Addison, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
unfortunately, I don't see much of a chance for Caitlin Vieira, but it is a
not
fight,
even a
as we say.
chance. Yo, that's
Nah, not,
heavy.
not for
Not
me,
even a
not for me, bro.
chance.
Not for me.
Hectic.
Sorry,
I will
Caitlin
add this one
Vieira.
statistic. The one statistic that I would point out is the significant strikes per minute, right? So Caitlin Vieira's significant strikes per minute is at 3.40, and Kayla is at 7.52. So on paper, it looks like Kayla is the more, more volume kind of fighter. But a lot of those strikes are
Mm.
coming from clinch positions or on the ground, not necessarily out in the open of the
That's what I
octagon.
was gonna say.
You know,
It doesn't matter how many
so essentially,
significant strikes you throw if you're on the ground, bro. If you under someone, you know what I mean.
yes,
And I think
yes.
that's where Caitlin Vieira is gonna find herself. So
Sheesh.
yeah,
See,
not for me, but we can maybe make a side bet on this one if you also if you are
yeah.
so excited by the prospect here of Caitlin Vieira.
It's mad you saying
Let us
prospect. She's ranked number 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like against Kayla Addison, bro. I just think Kayla Addison is too OP for this whole division, bro. And like I said, future champion. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Does Caitlin Vieira have a legitimate chance in this match? I don't think so.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, let's let the people say. Any final thoughts here, BG?
That's that. Oh, it's a scary fight. That's going under the radar. We were so intrigued by the main event and co-main event, but I think this fight's might pull the most of the attention.
Yeah, it is a title eliminator. So yeah, amazing card by the UFC. Shout out to them
Yeah,
for getting it done. But okay, BG,
absolutely.
let's keep it moving then to the middleweight division, where of course Dricus du Plessis is the champion. And here we see Roman Dolidze coming up against Kevin Holland. Number 10 ranked Roman Dolidze is the 2.2 underdog. He's 13 and 3-7 by KO. Last fight also beating Lionheart by unanimous decision. He's coming up against
Mhm.
Kevin Holland, number 15 ranked, who is the 1.65 favorite. 26 and 11, 14 by KO, and last time out, of course, beating Olejniczak by first round submission. Yeah.
Yep.
So BG, what are you
Mhm.
seeing? How's this one gonna play out, bro?
Kevin Holland all the way, and that's not a fan. Like, me being a fan about it because I was a fan of Kevin Holland in the past, but because he hasn't necessarily found a division and made a title run, I was like, I'm gonna reserve my thoughts on him until he actually commits to something. And that being said, stylistically, I think he's a nightmare for Roman Dolidze. I think Roman naturally is the bigger fighter because this is a welterweight fight, the middleweight. So yeah, he's naturally
Middleweight, yeah.
bigger, heavier. He's probably got more power than Kevin Holland, but I do think Kevin Holland has got the better hands. I do think Kevin Holland can submit a little bit better than Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze's wins usually come from just overwhelming guys or putting him up against the cage from that clinch position there, and just landing some dominating punches from there, maybe getting ground and pound. Doesn't necessarily knock
Mm,
people out that often. Although he's got 7 wins by knockout, um, he's taken off his last couple of fights. I do think he's going to be a step too slow for Kevin Holland here. If he's going to win, he's going to have to probably use wrestling. He's going to have to probably keep the fight on the ground, use some ground and pound, and beat Kevin Holland like that. Just use the size and frame advantage that he has here. So if he doesn't do that and they keep it standing, I think Kevin Holland's going to piece him up. Kevin Holland's got the reach advantage, got the longer arms, got the superior kind of boxing, and Kevin Holland's the kind of not dirty dog kind of fighter. He talks a lot of shit to his opponents and gets your mind
mm,
off your game plan, and next thing you know, he's eating your snot out of your nose, like Joaquin Buckley kind of situation. So I just think Kevin Holland only losing against like the top tier kind of fighters. and being in there with those kind of guys, and Roman Dolidze as well, also being in there with big names, Owen Vittori, Imavov, Jacko Manson. Um, I still think he comes up short here. Kevin Holland's going to navigate him over 3 rounds. Maybe
Mm,
even get the finish. Maybe even get a finish.
yeah, I do agree with the result there, BG. I do think Kevin Holland is, for me, better everywhere, bro. And I actually think Kevin
Mm.
Holland is going to sub him. Kevin Holland's going to knock him
Yeah,
down and then grab his back in the rear naked choke, and that's going to
yeah,
be
I
a
can
wrap
see
for
it.
me.
I can see that
Um,
happening.
so yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I mean, Dolidze, but he's a good boxer. He's
Mm,
got good
mm.
timing. He can knock people out. So he again punches chance, but I think, like you said as well, Kevin Holland gonna be too much for him on the night for me.
You know what it is, Eddie? It's what's motivating that decision for me now is that I'm starting to see how Roman Dolidze is going to be able to stand in a way where you remember how Wonderboy stood against Kevin Holland. Yeah, Wonderboy
Mm.
completely like even didn't know what was happening. The way Wonderboy was outstriking him. Can you see Roman Dolidze strike so phenomenally that he's gonna make Kevin Holland rethink everything that he wants to do?
I mean, not the way Wonderboy did it, because Wonderboy's array is much more diverse.
Mm,
But look, I think he's got a chance if he can find his timing on the night and work the body,
yeah, yeah,
keep Kevin Holland guessing. He is a bit more one-dimensional, like I said. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't see him winning, but he could cause Kevin Holland some problems with his boxing. But
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be enough on the night. Yeah,
Nah, completely agree.
yeah. Okay, BG. So you were speaking about our boy Wonder Boy,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
of course on the featured bout of the prelims. Wonder Boy,
Exciting
yeah,
fight.
yeah. I mean, he's always a fan favorite, and Wonder Boy is coming into this fight as the 2.75 underdog. He's of course
Mm,
17-7-1, 8 by KO. Last time out, losing to Shavkat Rakhmanov by second round sub. Coming up against Joaquin Buckley, who is the 1.47 favorite, 19-6, 13 by KO. Last time out, win
yeah.
against Nur Sultan Ruziboev by unanimous decision. So BG, you
Yes,
got
sir.
anything here for our boy Wonder Boy, bruh? Who is of
Yeah.
course a long time listener and a great fan of the show here at the CPS Reports. But yeah, BG,
Shout out to Wonder Boy.
shout out to
Very,
Wonder Boy.
very good matchup from I almost at one championship now. Uh, very good matchup from UFC because Joaquin Buckley, so Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Buckley is definitely on the rise. I think you said he lost his last fight, or he's on a 4-fight win streak.
He won his last fight against
Yeah.
Nur
So
Sultan Ruziboev.
yeah, so it's a 4-fight win streak on the climb. Looked good in all those fights. He's got knockout power. He's got good wrestling. He's a very good, well-rounded kind of fighter, right? But he's going up against someone who is insanely elite. And why I'm
Yeah.
saying this, even though Wonder Boy is at the age that he's at, he still looks so freaking great and like one of the most deadliest fighters to almost compete against in the welterweight division. So, like for Joaquin Buckley, if he can get through this fight, he can definitely stake a claim in that top 10, maybe top 15. He ranked 11 right now. So
Yep. I mean, both of these guys are ranked. Yeah. One
yeah,
boy
so
is at number 9.
if he beats Wonder Boy, there you go. You're on the path to where you want to be
Yeah.
chasing down that title. But Wonder Boy is probably one of the most.
Possibly.
Eh?
Yeah. Possibly top 5 after beating Wonder Boy. Do you think? Maybe a bit
I
too
don't
far.
know. Yeah,
But yeah,
maybe a bit too far. Maybe a bit too far.
maybe somebody
But
on a loss in the top 5. Because I mean, like you said, it's a
top
4-fight
7,
streak. It's a 4-fight streak.
yeah,
So
it's a 4-fight winning streak.
and you never know how things work here in the UFC anymore. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the fashion of the fight as well and how it happens. If he does get a W, it's how he gets that W because beating someone with that kind of resume in Wonderboy Thompson can definitely put you up into the top 5 if you do it in a certain fashion, obviously. But I mean,
Mm,
Wonderboy is a puzzle, man. It's a very, very tough person to beat. He only really gets beaten by superior wrestlers. I mean, you
yeah.
see how Shafkat beat Wonderboy in that last fight. It was like a bear versus a freaking squirrel.
Child.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, it was insane to watch. And I
Yeah.
don't think
But
Joaquin Buckley has got that same kind of wrestling, to be quite honest, to to manhandle Wonder Boy like that. Um,
you don't think so?
I don't think he
Bro,
has that kind of
look,
wrestling to do it.
look at this guy, bro.
I've
He's the
watched him
tank.
fight. I watched him fight, and he gets tired also. Although he looked really good in his last 4 fights, like he hasn't really looked like he's gotten tired. He's like sorted out his diet and things like that. But I do think that Wonder Boy is so elite, so many fights under his belt, fought so many different kind of fighters, different various champions. So what can Joaquin do to sort of beat beat Wonder Boy? Probably knock him out. I know he has knockout power. He can definitely knock Wonder Boy out, but he has to
Probably
get there
wrestle him, bro.
first. He has to get there first. Bilal Muhammad and Shafkat Ramanov, and back in the day, Tyron Woodley did give people the blueprint on how to beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But he has to
Mm.
get there first. Obviously, Wonderboy moves really well. The footwork is second to none, and he can strike. He can strike from any distance. He can strike from when he's going left, then going right, even when he's going backwards. Wonderboy can strike you from that position and probably knock you out as well. So speed advantage and kickbox advantage definitely goes to Wonderboy. But Joaquin Buckley is the younger fighter. He's on the rise. He's got the power. He's got the wrestling. It should tip into his favor to get the job done. He's also on the road to a title, so um, it makes more sense for him to be the one to win the fight. And it's probably also why they're making him the favorite.
Mm.
But it's hard to bet against the veterans, eh? It's very difficult to bet against the veterans.
Yeah,
Hmm.
nah, I mean, I really want Wonder Boy to win as per normal, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not as convinced. But yeah, shout out to Wonder Boy. Hope he gets it done. Maybe Wonder Boy should go to the one championship, yeah. Compete in the kickboxing league.
That would be a good thing,
That'd
eh?
be fun to see, yeah.
To
Because then he
close his
doesn't have to
career.
worry about takedowns and stuff and
Or he
be a
might
lot
be
more
like
free to express
he
himself.
might just beat everybody, bro.
Yeah. So you're there, Wonder Boy, get it done. Go to the one championship. But there was one other fight that we just want to give a quick shout out to. And Carla
Hmm.
Esparza in the women's strawweight division is, of course, retiring after this fight. She's coming up against Tisha Pennington. So, BG, any words to say about Carla as she goes into a final bout?
So firstly, probably one of the best opponents Carlo could ask for her final fight in the UFC. This is a rematch. They fought before in the Ultimate Fighter Tough House, and Carlo Esparza came out victorious in that fight. So it would be a good rematch because now she knows the opponent she's going up against. It's two legends in the UFC. And also a good time for Carlo to retire because she had held the belt before twice. By the way, she won it after winning the Ultimate Fighter, defended the belt once, then lost it, then got it back again after beating Rose Namajunas. Um, yeah, so I think it's a good. She could hang her gloves because it's in a career that is quite successful. And also going up against Tisha, almost a Tisha Torres, Tisha Pennington, excuse me. Um, a good opponent for her because it's a familiar opponent. Tisha's going to come in there and look to strike, look to strike for sure. Because I do think she's not as good of a wrestler as Carla is. Carla's going to look to obviously go to the ground and do what she does best and get the fight. I would look for the rear naked choke. That is her bread and butter. And I can see it happening. I can see Carlo winning the fight by submission or you win by 3 rounds, unanimous decision by out grappling Tisha. And she can
All
hold her
right.
own in the department, but I don't think Tisha's gonna be doing enough to beat Carlo, especially on this day. It might even be a planned thing because they know each other and they fought before. They are friends. It might be a thing of like, you know what? Let me let you send yourself out on a good high.
Yeah, possibly. Well, there you go. So lock it in for Carla Esparza for the parlay. Speaking of parlays, brother Gaia, it is time for us to pay some bills.
Name it! 60 G's,
Let's do it,
Okay, so
bro.
BG, it is time to put the money where the mouth is. So, what's definitely happening on this card for you? What's something that we can
Um,
definitely bank on?
yeah, that's a very tough question, eh?
So, okay,
Definitely
so definitely Pereira and Rountree is not going to go the distance,
no.
right?
No, it's not gonna go the distance.
Okay,
No,
but
it's not
that's
gonna go
like,
the distance.
yeah, look at that, bro. Like, not great. But okay, let's put it in there just because these are the things that we are 100% sure are going to happen
Okay.
on this party. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's one of them. Anything else?
Yeah, I think you could say the same thing for the Caitlin Vieira and Kayla Harrison fight. That's definitely gonna end in the
What?
finish. Someone's getting finished there.
I like that. Let's see.
Someone's definitely gonna lose there in a finish.
Not to go the distance. Yo, that's tasty. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. Anything
Who
else?
else is Kevin Holland, Roman Dolidze. I can see a finish in that fight as well. Probably Kevin Holland getting it done. Yo,
Very good odds, yeah.
yo.
Do like that though, yeah. Let's go one
The
more
only
for good
thing,
luck.
the only thing about that one that maybe makes it a bit skeptical is because Roman Dolidze has to make it the kind of fight where no one's getting finished. You know what I mean? Like he can hold you down, or he can just walk the octagon around and not really take any damage, and no one really
Yeah,
gets stopped.
I don't see Kevin allowing for that, bro. He's a fighter for the fans, and he's gonna be going for the finish from minute 1 to the last minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very confident with that bet. So yeah, I think let's leave
Okay,
that one and go with one more.
okay. Can you scroll to the earlier fights, maybe? Um, Austin Hubbard and Hernandez that could also potentially end in a stoppage.
Is this 100% sure?
Yeah, I've watched Austin Hubbard fight in the Ultimate Fighter. He's a fantastic great fighter, good finisher, good wrestler, very very explosive, got a lot of pace. And Hernandez is also the kind of fighter that goes balls to the wall. You know
They
what
don't
I mean?
have
So
props on here though, so can't bet on that.
okay, so then leave that
But
then.
let's go one result, one fighter to win on the card who you're absolutely sure about.
Um, yo, I'm gonna go with Jose Aldo winning by unanimous decision against Mario Bautista.
I like that. So let's go.
Yeah,
Aldo. I don't know.
is he the
There we go.
underdog in that fight?
Yeah.
Yo,
So Aldo by
it's weird.
decision.
Yeah, 3 rounds unanimous. He's an option.
Tasty.
There we go.
Yeah, tasty. All right, so BG, that brings us to a combined odds of 13.79, which is very spicy indeed. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and we'll be sure to lock that in closer to the time of the fights. So thank you, BG, and may the force
Thank
be
you.
with you with your parlay this weekend. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up, yeah, bro?
Just looking forward to a weekend of combat sports, bro. We got the one championship Friday. That's Friday. It's Friday. Friday fights 82. Then we have Saturday the one championship again. Is fight night 25, and then UFC after that 307.
Yeah.
It's just an explosive weekend of combat sports. So just excited all around.
Absolutely, bro. And we, of course, will be bringing you our recap of both of those events in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
if you have made it this far in the video, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We do really appreciate all the support that we've received thus far. We were also very happy to see quite a lot of engagement from Myanmar. So shout out to Myanmar and the people of Myanmar. But okay,
Yes.
BG, that about wraps it up from us.
Yeah.
So yeah, been a pleasure as
Indeed.
always. Ladies and gentlemen,
Pleasures,
thank
yeah.
you very much once again for watching, and have a wonderful week further. Enjoy the fights. It's at 4 a.m. South African time, and we will see you next time. Cheers, everybody.